It's great to be young. Of course, I'm 79 years young. But I'm thinking back today when I'm substituting in Gila Ridge High School again, and the kids are working on maps, and we get into geography and so on. And I look over at the board, and there is something from Time or Newsweek about Obama. Pretty young. Guys, he seems really young. But then I remember back in the 1950s, 60s, and the 60s, gee, I was just 30-something. And we elected, I don't remember if I voted for him or not, but America elected John Kennedy, President of the United States. He was pretty young. Can't tell you how pleasing it was to me to see somebody that didn't look like my grandfather, President of the United States. Enjoyed it. Was proud of him. Scared for him. Particularly when we had the Cuba atomic warfare scare. He handled that well. Then I felt sorry for him and realized maybe he didn't do it very well when we encouraged Cubans to go back and invade Cuba to try to throw Castro out. And at the Bay of Pigs, we let a lot of people down, in my opinion, as we encouraged them to go, and they kind of thought we'd back them. Well, we did back them with money and ammunition and guns, but we didn't send any troops down there to help them, and those poor guys got killed by the hundreds. Bay of Pigs was not a good thing. I remember very well the day that Kennedy was assassinated. I was a junior high principal in Evergreen, Colorado. Was in watching a wrestling match at home. The secretary came in and she was crying, and she said, "They've shot the president." Oh, yeah, they probably shot at him. Went into her office, and she said, "No, they're going to pronounce him dead here very shortly." She said, "My husband works for a trucking outfit that's headquartered down in Denver and in San Antonio. And the boys down there say he can't live, that they saw brains fly when the shots hit him." Sad, sad, sad. All of America, I think, was sad. But he was gone. We cried at our house. We cried before the funeral, and we cried during the funeral. And our little girl that was only 3 or 4 years old got tired of seeing her mama and daddy crying all the time. When we were tuned in and watching the funeral, she said, "Oh, not again," because we started crying again. But the little kid watched a lot more than we had any idea, because a few months later, my wife's father, Charlie Williams, died of a heart attack. We went back for the funeral, of course. At the grave, after the burial was complete and the grave covered, our little girl said, "Where's the fire?" We're looking around. What does she mean, where's the fire? She figured that if an eternal flame was good enough for the President of the United States, it darn well was good enough for her grandpa. So we had a little explaining to do. That grandpa was far more important to her than the President of the United States, but he wasn't going to get an eternal flame to mark his grave.